Yes, so here we are studying about the mixed table and line. We just finished with a line graph, but lot of times they will put both a table and they will put a line graph. And some similar things happen with a pie graph, similar things happen with they'll have two tables sometimes. So we'll study this. Can you read this question?
Yeah, sure. The graph and table below give information about water use worldwide and water consumptions in two different countries.
Okay. And then you have the standard. What is the standard? Do you remember what the standard line is?
No.
Summarize the information
Okay.
by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons
Comparison.
where relevant. So here you have this information given.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it. Now, what is happening overall?
Okay. So from like in beginning, the agriculture uh, uh, and industrial use showed continuously growth, while in contrarily, domestic use has uh, the only showed a limited growth.
Unlimited growth. Limited growth. Okay.
Limited growth.
Okay. One more thing. You see this? Did you notice this? This is like this till here.
Yes. Mhm.
This is
Like up to the 1950, the domestic
yes.
use has not performed prop well, um, while industrial use also not perform well up to the 1940. But agriculture showed a tremendous growth from starting of the
Yes.
1900
Great.
to and reached in the end the topmost level around 3000.
Great. Now, can you look at this table and see what is happening?
Okay. Water consumption in Brazil and Congo in 2000. Uh, Country Brazil, population 176, integrated land, water consumption per person. Okay. So in Brazil, the population is greater than Congo, uh, around 176 million, and the land which the population was lived in around 26 uh, 26,500
Okay.
kilometers square.
Now, when you are giving an overall, you should give an
Mhm.
overall that will tell what is happening in brief here and here. So,
Okay.
can you make an attempt before I show you what I have written?
Uh, okay. Just a moment.
Overall,
Overall, uh, agriculture ha- showed a tremendous growth from starting and be be the top one
hmm?
uh, and performing well, uh, while industrial use and domestic use has not showed that growth. And while in Brazil, uh, the population lived around 176 million, and they lived in uh, 26,500
No, no,
kilometer.
no. This is too much, man. When an overall is given,
Mhm.
it's like a selfie, You don't show the whole
Okay.
body in a selfie, you just show the brief profile. Okay, don't
Mhm.
worry. First time, good try, good thing you're done. Now this is how you write the introduction.
Okay.
Here, the introduction should tell what is happening in both things at the same time. So these words are
O-
your friends. These words, while, although, all these
okay.
linkers will become your friends. Can you read this thing? How it starts? Start.
Yes, the linear graphical representation, despite the worldwide
Despite nahi yaar,
depicts, sorry, the
depicts,
linear graphical
depicts.
represent representation depicts the worldwide volume-wise water usage for agriculture, industrial, and household use use for the century between 1900 and 1900 and uh, 2000, while the tabular distribution charts the utilization of water for irrigation and personal use in Brazil and Democrat, Democratic Republic of Congo for the year 2000.
Yes. Are you exhausted reading all that? But this is how it's very simple. What do you when a line graph comes, you will write linear
Mhm.
graphical representation. Bolo,
Correct.
linear graphical. This will give you high bands.
Linear graphical representation
Depicts the
depicts
worldwide. देखा
the
world
worldwide
इधर लिखा है ना worldwide.
mhm,
Global. देखा global का दूसरा
global
global became worldwide.
worldwide.
Water use for see they have written agriculture, industrial use, and domestic use. What have I done? Water usage. देखा
Mhm.
for the agriculture,
Agriculture, industrial, and household
household uses आएगा.
uses mm,
या use ही आएगा. Sorry. For the
use
century. Why did I say century?
like from like 1900 to 2000. That's why.
Very good.
Like they covers 100 years.
Yes. What do you call this from 1990 to
Decade.
200 decade? समझे आप?
Yes, correct.
So you have to think of this. Then
Mhm.
what did I say? Volume wise. देखा है? Volume wise usage.
Volume wise water usage.
Usually we put units are measured in. Why did I
Mhm.
not put units here?
Mhm. Because the linear graph and tabular chart. That's why.
No, there are so many units. Everything is different. So if I keep writing
Okay.
that, it will be a big
So
stress.
okay. So if there will be any one units given in task, so that time we showed that
Yes.
write that type of sentence, right?
Yes, you can say units are measured in percentages.
Okay.
Suppose there is percentages and currency in dollars, then you can mention that. But here, what are the
Mhm.
different units that you see?
That kilometers
Very good then.
and
किलोमीटर्स है क्या सिर्फ किलोमीटर्स है ये क्या है
square है या cube
स्क्वायर
है sir?
किलोमीटर्स क्यूब
Okay.
है क्यूब है
Cube.
क्यूब है वॉल्यूम है ना इसीलिए
Mhm. Okay.
क्यूबिक
Cubic.
तो इतना सारा पानी दे आर यूजिंग माय गुडनेस cubic
Mhm.
kilometers it's not even meters and this is across the world do you measure in cubic kilometers anything
Mm. I
in
don't think so.
in
We'll
your piping and oil and natural gas thing you're doing
no, but not in cubic.
you just do cubic meters
No, no.
oh you're following
We
the us thing right
we
gallon
done in pounds and
oh you're doing the us thing correct correct
Mhm.
gallons and all you must be using
Correct.
wow so for kilometer you're using miles
No, but we haven't you use in like we did only meters.
oh you only put meters
Yeah,
okay you don't use miles
because our plant covered mostly in we did detail engineering and we have to show them each and every dimension. So most of the time we did in meters and sometimes in precision like millimeters.
wow okay So this is how you are looking at it. You know, here it is cubic, here it is million, here it is square kilometers, here it is cubic meters. So when too many units are there, you can't tell what is happening. So you
Okay.
have to just take the main features. You don't have to keep
Okay.
telling everything that is there. You just have to focus on what is the main feature.
Okay, so here we write on introduction like the linear graphical representation describe the worldwide. So globally, then volume-wise water usage for agriculture, like the water usage for agriculture, industrial, and household, correct? And
Very good.
from century 1900 to 2000.
Very good.
Okay, and meanwhile the tabular distribution chart, the data which they showed like personal use in Brazil and the Congo
Very good.
for
So
the year.
because there are so many units here, we usually put
Mm-hmm,
units, but we don't put it here. Otherwise, the words, then I'll have to say units are measured. Units for
mm-hmm,
the water is measured uh, in cubic kilometers, while population in million, irrigated land in
okay.
square kilometers, water consumption per. So that's too stressful, and it just shoots up
Mm-hmm.
your limits. Okay, then you see how I put the overall statement. Can you read the overall statement?
Overall, it is observed that agriculture used significantly more water than other
Hmm.
sectors, while the consumption of water kept growing in all sectors.
Do you agree? Consumption kept growing in all sectors.
Uh, no, overall it can, yeah. In overall we can write that for all like in the end up to the 2002 the all uh, units are changed like from 0 to near about
Yeah,
300 or just above 1000 or crossing like at 3000.
yeah, yeah. So then when we say an overall statement, it should
Mhm,
bring both aspects. See,
mhm,
so we cannot keep saying each, and that's when you were saying, it was too long. It shouldn't be too long.
mhm,
Overall means just a gist of what is happening. So you have to
correct.
spot that trend.
Mhm.
So overall,
All sector
agriculture,
is growing.
yes. Then otherwise, the consumption kept growing in all sectors, right? Everywhere it is growing.
Mhm,
We don't have to say it didn't grow till here and all that. You can say that, but then it becomes too long.
correct.
And then it says what from the table what is happening. Brazil was using more water. You don't have to say Brazil had more people and all, but we're just
Mhm,
saying Brazil used way more water. देखा ये way more.
mhm.
Either 100
Way
square
more water
kilometers,
than this
yeah,
year. Oh,
8 है इधर 3. That's why you should say way more. This is called contrasting language. Contrasting language will get you high scores for IELTS.
okay, way more water than this year.
Yeah, you can say more water but when you say way more, you're really
Mhm,
contrasting, you're emphasizing the contrast.
okay.
Correct? Okay,
Mhm,
now that you have put the introduction and the overall statement, you will now separate each one and start talking about what happened here, and then the
mhm.
next para will talk about what happened here.
Okay.
So start scrutinizing the data. Padho.
Scrutinizing the data.
Hmm.
In 1900, agriculture use of water was overwhelmingly, while at 500 kilometer
Cubic kilometers.
cubic kilometers,
Hmm.
while other sectors were negligible.
Okay, now you see how I'm contrasting,
Hmm,
right? So we are saying that this was extremely high at 500, while the others were
negligible.
negligible. Don't you agree? Here it is almost reached
Correct.
500. Here it's
Mhm,
zero. कोई यूज
correct.
ज्यादा नहीं चल रहा था.
Hmm,
ठीक है.
huh,
हाँ, फिर क्या हुआ? Now listen, whenever you're describing a line graph, the reader should be taken along those lines. They should be, even if they don't see your chart, By reading your language, they should understand what is happening in that chart.
mhm.
So from here, where is this from here? What is the meaning of from here?
From here,
Means what?
the
Where is that here according to that chart? Where is that here?
like while moving further.
No, but where is here? Suppose I say
Mhm.
Ahmedabad is 120 kilometers from here. So what does that here
Okay,
mean?
like from Vadodara to
Yeah,
Ahmedabad, right?
yeah,
Like
correct.
from 1900.
Very good. This is called referencing language.
Mhm.
If you use this, you will have great scores. So don't say from 1900. You already mentioned 1900 in the previous sentence.
Okay.
Now you're saying
Instead of putting too much 1900, we can use
yes,
this like
from here. Correct. See,
mhm.
from here, what happened? Read.
From here, the usage steadily increased, finishing at 3000 cube kilometer in 2000 for agriculture,
Okay, see.
while the mhm,
Excuse me. Now we should remember there is lot of things to do. We have to compare this. We have to compare this table.
mhm.
So we can't say
So
that.
direct to the point.
Yeah, we can't
Like
say
there are so
from.
many things
Yes,
we have to cover. So
correct. We cannot say that we
instead
can
of
say
breaking down decades, we like move to the first to end.
correct. Because there is what is the big deal here? We cannot say it went up rapidly. We cannot say
Mhm,
anything. We can
mhm,
if we say that it grew with a little increase in 1970 and 1980 to touch, that is making it too long. So we just have to say what happened. There was no significant event happening. It just
mhm.
increased steadily. That is the word, steadily,
Okay.
right? You can also say that it was agricultural. What is it? Agriculture use
Agriculture,
was
water
below
use.
1000 till कब तक था till 1950, and after
Mhm.
this the growth tripled. You can say that
Okay.
to finish at 3000. You can say that, but there will be too much words and it
Mhm,
can, hinder your speed. Because remember, you're writing this actually in 15 minutes and checking it
mhm.
for 5 minutes.
Okay.
So you don't have too much of time here. So after your
Mhm,
task 2, after essay, come and
mhm.
write this one.
Okay.
Okay, so now what have I done? I said that agriculture grew and it finished. See,
Mhm.
from here, can you read this?
Steadily increased, finishing at 3000 in 2000 for agriculture.
While. Now see this word
While
while. Make it your friend. While.
mhm.
Huh.
While the other domains continued to use very less water till 1950 and then showed a increase with industrial use finishing at 1000 cube kilometer
Cubic
and
kilometers, yeah. Hmm.
domestic use at 500 cube kilometer.
Cube mat bolo yaar. Cubic bolo.
Sorry, cubic.
Yeah, that is cubic kilometers. Hmm. Then, now we are coming straight to the table. Pado, moving on to the table.
Moving on to the table, Brazil was ahead of all parameters when compared to DRC, showing 176 million for population.
Hang on, let me reduce the
Mhm,
point size. I hope you can still see it.
mhm.
We are looking at the table and Brazil.
Okay.
Now you say what it is.
Moving on to the table,
Hmm.
Brazil was ahead of all parameters
Hmm.
when compared to DRC, showing 176 million for population, uh, for 300 and
Hmm.
Sorry,
Recovery.
26,500 kilometer, right?
For irrigated
For
land.
irrigated land and
Mm.
359 for per personal use.
And see how I told about Congo. Did I say Congo has this and that and all?
Mhm.
What did I say about Congo?
Congo showed very significant figures for this.
Significant है?
Sorry, insignificant. Sorry,
हम्म,
insignificant.
है ना? I didn't say
Mhm.
Congo में 5.2 million है. Congo was irrigating 100 square
Mhm.
kilometers. Congo had. I just said was very.
So we just write that major. Okay.
Yes. See, because the question is always asking you to, this will be the standard thing. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting main features and
Mhm.
make comparison. That's what you have to do. If you've done that, you've got your bands.
Okay.
समझे आप? So what I
Mhm.
suggest is all of you who are learning, or you also Akshay, you look at my
Mhm.
model and copy it. While copying it,
Okay.
give it some time to think, understand, and then attempt to write something on your own.
Mhm.
Can you read it once more, the thing from start to finish?
Yeah, sure.
You have this on your student learning material. You can open it and keep it there and read it as we
Okay.
see it, so that your
Mhm.
pronunciation will also improve and I can get to hear how you feel about it. Start.
Okay. The linear graphical representation represent
Depicts.
representation
अरे depicts बोलो यार. अच्छा
नहीं नहीं डिपिक्स तक आया ही नहीं ना
अच्छा
the
representation
linear
representation representation बोलो.
yeah
Representation
representation
representation present बोलो present sir.
present present
Represent बोलो represent बोलो. Station.
representation
हाँ
like
station
the
first.
linear graphical representation despite
हाँ
the world
despite नहीं
depicts
है यार
the
depicts
depicts
है.
the world the linear graphical representation depicts the
वाह.
worldwide
हाँ.
volume-wise water usage for agriculture, industrial, and household use for the century between 1900 and 2000,
Hmm.
while the tabular distribution
Oh,
charts the
okay, I should have made it decades, okay? I should make it
Mhm,
decades. Century, or I should just say for the century. Between
mhm.
नहीं बोलेगा, for the century 1900 to 2000. That's what I should have done. Decades is good here. Continue. Sorry. While the tabular,
Decades between 1900 and 2000, while the tabular distribution chart
table
ta-
बोलो, table.
tabular
Tab,
tabular
हाँ.
tabular distribution charts the utilization of water for irrigation.
Hmm.
That irrigation spelling is correct, or
Oh my God. Thank you. That's wrong? Huh. And
yeah,
personal use.
and irrigation and personal use in Brazil and Democratic Republic of Congo for the year 2000.
Hmm.
Overall, it is observed that agriculture used significantly more water than other sectors,
Hmm.
more water than other sectors, while the consumption of water kept growing in all sectors.
Hmm.
Admittedly, Additionally, from the table, it is observed that Brazil used way more water than BCR.
देखा why did I put DCR?
Yeah, like short form because you have
Yes.
mentioned in the
So
introduction.
yeah, so introduction should take care of all your abbreviations. You should put
Uh-huh.
all the units, everything, so that you don't have to waste time writing out such things in your next paragraphs.
Okay, so we can like the Democratic Republic of Congo. We can if there is no like standard, so we can use that abbreviation. Like we can make our
Yeah.
own abbreviation.
Yes.
Okay,
What's the mistake I did here?
DRC.
Yes. What did I do? What is the mistake?
You have right like DCR.
Yeah, it should be DRC. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm. Continue. Oh, you
Yeah,
finished
see,
this. Now,
then
now,
scrutiny. Mhm.
now you finished this too. Now you're looking at the data. Continue with the data.
Scrutinizing the data. In 1900, agriculture use of water was overwhelmingly high at
See that word?
500,
Overwhelmingly high. यानी बहुत ज़्यादा.
बहुत ज़्यादा, correct, overwhelmingly high
Overwhelmingly. Hmm.
at 500 cubic kilometer,
Hmm.
while other sectors were negligible. From here, from here, the usage steadily increased,
Hmm.
finishing at 3,000 cubic kilometer in 2000 for agriculture,
Very good.
while other domains continued to use very less water till
Hmm.
1950,
Hmm.
and when showed an increase with industrial use, finishing at 1000 cubic kilometer
Hmm.
and domestic use at 500 cubic
देखा?
kilometer.
Next, you will continue to you do
Okay,
this.
moving on to the table,
Hmm.
Brazil was ahead of all parameters
Hmm.
when compared to DRC,
Hmm.
showing 176 uh, million people for population 2000, sorry, 26,500
Hmm.
square kilometer
Hmm.
for integrated land and uh,
Hmm.
359
What?
metric for per person use.
Hmm.
Congo showed very insignificant figures
Figures
for
for
this.
these. Okay, great. Now you see how the structure is.
Mhm.
Do you want to write the intro for this one right now?
Uh, I can speak.
Oh, you can. Okay, great. Start.
Okay. So the linear the linear graphical represents
Representation.
representation depicts
Hmm. बोलो क्या डिपिक्ट करता है?
depicts the show monthly temperature.
Hmm.
Okay. So depicts the temperature, average temperature used in follow, following cities, main three cities,
Hmm.
London, New York, and Sydney.
Hmm.
Uh, the
Hmm.
units are covered in
कवर्ड है क्या?
Celsius.
Hmm. हेलो.
Just a bit. Sorry.
Don't worry, man.
The graph and table below show the average monthly temperatures and the average number of hours of sunshine per year in three major cities. Some examinations depending on reporting temperatures London, New York, and Sydney. Like for okay,
Hmm.
the linear graphical representation depicts the
Hmm.
uh,
एवरेज का सिखाया था मैंने वर्ड. मीडियन.
respectively.
नहीं, मीडियन. मीडियन.
Okay,
एम ई
median.
आई ए एन. मीडियन. हम्म. मीडियन क्या?
The median number of hours hours of sunny sunshine per year. like sunny days,
Hmm.
sunny months, or
Why sunny months? पूरा साल
like
का है ना?
sunshine per year in three major cities.
Hmm?
The sunshine per year in three major cities.
Hmm.
So I
Okay.
have to like paraphrase that sunshine.
Yeah, not sunshine. Yeah, you can
Mhm,
paraphrase it if you want to.
mhm.
How can you paraphrase dhoop? Hello.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
You can call it sunlight.
Yes,
You know,
sunlight.
yeah, you know sunlight, right?
Mhm. The sunlight per
But
annual
yes,
annually
instead of
sunlight
instead of saying per year,
annually
you can say
sunlight
annual
in three
sunlight. Yes, sunshine.
annual sunlights in London, New
Hmm.
York, and Sydney.
Okay, units.
But here they cover in Celsius, right?
Hmm?
That that units like 0 to 35
Hmm.
Celsius, right?
Celsius, correct. Celsius.
Okay. Units are measured covered in Celsius,
Hmm. While the table,
while the table shows uh, yearly hours uh, respectively in three cities.
in three cities. Great. Now overall,
Okay. Overall, it it is observed that the Sydney overall it is observed that Sydney showed up uh,
what did Sydney show?
like from starting it showed up and then in mid July down, then back to December. Like mm,
Great. Did you talk about the table overall? Can you say that overall once more for line graph? What did you say?
that overall it is observed that London and New York showed uptrend and then downtrend.
No, what do you call this kind of a curve?
Mm,
Physics used to learn this. It's called a bell curve. याद है?
bell curve. Okay.
घंटी जैसा दिखता है ना ये तो. Which are
Yes,
the
yes,
two
bell
things
curve.
which look like which have a bell?
Like London and New York.
And what is the if that is having the bell, what is happening to the other one?
That Sydney showed a U curve.
A U curve. And is it what do you call that? एक ऊपर जा रहा है दूसरा नीचे आ रहा है. So what do you call that? Contrarian. याद है?
In
Contrary.
contrarily,
Yes.
uh,
Use that word.
Sydney showed a
Yes.
U curve, right?
Showed a contrarian trend, a reverse trend. What is
Mm,
the trend?
I can't hear you properly.
What is the trend?
Like the trend showed a uptrend and the London and New York showed downward trends.
Okay, you don't call this a downward trend. So what you
Hmm.
can say is it is observed that London and New York showed
Hmm.
a similar bell curve,
Okay.
ठीक है?
Okay.
With highest temperatures in which month?
In July
And
and
in July ही था क्या highest? Okay, July.
yeah, yeah, in July.
अगस्त में थोड़ा कम हो रहा है, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
While Sydney showed a contrarian trend with high temperatures when
When month of the start of the year and end of the year,
in the start and end, and the lowest temperature was in.
in July.
Excellent. So you can always also say that, yeah. So how I
Mm-hmm.
would say is overall it is observed that London and New York showed a bell curve with the
Okay.
highest temperature at in the month of July, while Sydney showed a contrary trend with its lowest temperature in July, while the highest were in January and December. समझे?
Mm-hmm.
This is how you're overall doing. Also observed is that which one gets the most sunshine?
The tabular charts.
No. Also observed is that New York has the highest.
New
Uh,
York showed the, sorry,
yes, New York had the highest number of hours of sunshine
hours.
amongst the three cities.
Okay.
Now scrutinizing the table. Huh.
Scrutinizing the data for that in the starting in the year of starting month,
Hmm.
uh, Sydney showed
Hmm.
a high temperature, just about 25 Celsius, and
Why you're going for Sydney when New York and सिडनी के लिए आप नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ में लेके आओ और वहाँ वैसे करेंगे
okay.
और वहाँ
So
पर टेबल भी डाल
London
दो.
and
हाँ जो
we
साथ में
cannot
जा रहे हैं
compare whole city, three cities.
हाउ कैन यू कंपेयर ऑल द थ्री सिटीज.
Like Sydney showed opposite trend with
बट
London and
इफ
New
यू
York.
फिनिश द
Like we
कंपैरिजन
can.
sorry to interrupt, if you finish this comparison too fast,
Mhm.
then how will you have the enough words to describe what is happening next.
Okay, okay. So in the first body paragraph, we talk about only London and New York, right? And then,
No, in the first sentence of the first body paragraph you talk
mhm,
only about London and New York. In the next sentence, you talk
okay,
about Sydney.
okay.
Start.
So scrutinizing the data further
Hmm.
in the uh, moving to the just month of the starting year, um,
क्या है month of the
the
starting year?
London and New York
Akshay, instead of
showed.
saying, hang on, Akshay, instead of
Uh,
saying month of the starting year, you should just say beginning in January. Hello.
okay, beginning in January.
Hmm.
Uh, yes, I can hear you.
Continue, continue. Beginning there. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me? So, Akshay,
Mm-hmm.
you have to learn to spot trends. So, beginning in January, whenever you're spotting trend, begin with what happens at the beginning. So, beginning in January, uh,
Beginning in January.
which had the
Uh,
least temperature?
the New York has the
Le-
least temperature,
At
followed by
no, we should give the
at
data
okay
at
at below five Celsius,
five.
followed by,
Huh.
sorry,
Followed by continue,
followed by London, which
which was a
at
notch
about
higher. याद रखो, which was a notch higher. Notch का spelling.
NOTCH.
Very good. थोड़ा सा बड़ा है तो notch higher. Remember, comparisons get you
Mhm.
good scores. Which was a notch higher at.
London was.
नहीं यार, already London बोला ना.
Mhm.
अच्छा, which was followed by London, which was a notch higher at a little below 10 degrees centigrade. Full
Okay.
stop. Sydney का क्या था? Sydney, however,
However, in contrarily, in in
contrarily,
contrarily,
हाँ,
uh, The Sydney at about uh, just about 25 degrees centigrade.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay, from here क्या हुआ?
from here,
Hmm.
from here, uh, uh, New York,
Temperatures of London and New York
the temperatures of London and New York showed a significant rise, uh,
to touch,
and
rise to
and
touch.
the New York touched
Array to touch what? Either you should tell of data. You saw a significant rise to touch. How much?
30 degrees centigrade New York,
Hmm.
and London touched just below 25 degrees centigrade,
Hmm.
while Sydney showed Sydney showed
Hmm.
20 uh, just above 15 degrees centigrade
Hmm.
in month of July.
Hmm.
Uh, okay, then from moving to the
Hmm. Moving on to.
moving from here,
Hmm.
uh, the and in the month of December,
Hmm.
uh, see the New
सिडनी में अब
York
हाँ न्यूयॉर्क क्या ही जाओ न्यूयॉर्क.
New York showed just 5 degrees centigrade, uh, and London just above,
Hmm.
just just at 10 degrees centigrade,
Hmm.
while Sydney at about 25 degrees centigrade.
Hmm.
Okay. Then moving on to the tabular chart,
Hmm.
uh, New
Tabular,
York,
tabular representation, tabular distribution, tabular. Moving on to the table. Hmm.
okay, New York at the highest
Hmm.
of the among the other cities
Hmm.
at 2,535 hours,
Hmm.
while followed by Sydney at 22,473 hours per annum, and at the least, London at uh, 1,180
Hmm.
hours per year.
Excellent. So I'm looking forward you to write this and the essay now. I don't know how you'll manage time, man.
Mhm.
Will you manage time?
I'm trying to.
Okay, you need to, huh? Okay, I'm stopping this recording. I'm looking
Okay.
forward you to write this. I'll send this as a link